Player doesn't get into a rhythm and start stringing shots together, it's over quickly.
And we talk about that a lot, but that's because it is so important. With 25 shots to get off in 60 seconds, there's just no time to ease into it.
8 points. He's got 9. He could have taken more from that rack, only got 2 points.
That's really poor.
His 5th consecutive miss. He completes the round with 13 points. Well, a very respectable performance from him there, guys.
And he managed to hit 4 money balls. Not terrible, but could have been better.
And so here's Harris now. That's 4 misses in a row. Dreams the money ball. 3 down, 4 points.
Getting a roll going. A decent start here.
got 8. He's got 9. Up to 10 now. Can't get the money ball. Now with 11. That gives him 12. Down to the money rack. Good for second. And now with 16. That gives him 18. That's 4 in a row now. The round comes to a close, and he's at 22 points. His stroke looked terrific in that round, guys.
Boy, he cleaned up on the money balls, nailing 7 out of 9.
Here we go with James Harden, and he needs at least 13 here to avoid elimination.
Yeah, it's going to require a pretty good effort out of him, but I think he's up for the task. Harden's starting to feel it.
7 more points to stay in contention.
7 points. Now 8 points. He's got 9. 4 more points to stay alive. 10 points on the board. 11 on the board. 1 more to stay alive. 2 acts remaining. Not just 13. Good with his 4th in a row. That's 5 in a row. He better get it together. 17 on the board. He finishes the round with 17 points. That was a nice piece of shooting we saw from him out there.
I think things are so much easier when a shooter gets off to a good start, and he certainly did that.
So here's Wells now.
17 or higher, the score he needs.
And he knows he can get this well within his abilities. 1 point. 2 points. Good rack right there. 4 points total. He's got 5. Two of 2 on the money ball. 8 points. He needs 8 points more. 10 points on the board. Money ball, no good.
6 more points to stick around.
12 for him.
4 more points to stay alive. A strong close out there.
Now to 15. He averages 3 points a rack and finishes with 15. And so here's now the general. He knows exactly what score will get him into the next round. And to make the next round, he'll need at least 17 points.
Yeah, it's going to require a pretty good effort out of him, but I think he's up for the task.
Makes his first there.
Tough rack right there.
2 points. Now 3 points. Gets the money ball. 6. That's 7. He needs to finish strong. He's got 8. He's got 9.
He needs 8 points more to stay in contention.
And he's done. Out.
Yep, he won't have enough to make the next round.
He just never got into a rhythm with the rack.
Couldn't finish it off, but still put up an impressive number. An 11-point round for him there. Well, not his finest showing. I think we can all agree he could have been a lot better.
And anytime it looked like he was starting to get into a good rhythm, he would just as quickly fall out of it.
Curry's got the highest score from round 1. All he's got to do now, guys, is repeat that performance in the finals.
This isn't like some years where there's one guy you point to going into the finals as the obvious face.
Not at all. And that's what's going to make it so much fun. I mean, you couldn't pick a better group to have here in the finals.
So it's James Harden ready to go.
When Harden came into the league, people were unsure if he'd be able to shoot with range in the NBA. He started out a little slow, but he's become quite the scorer and sharpshooter. A lot of people thought that would be the case. It was just a matter of when.
9 points. to go. 11 points.
Rock solid shooting down the stretch.
After 15 now. Make it 17. He finishes the round with 17 points. I'd say he handled that round pretty well, guys.
Kevin, I think he'd be real pleased with that score. I mean, it can always be a little bit higher, but that was plenty good.
I agree. He will be happy with it, but not ecstatic. He didn't break any records on that.
And so here's Harris now.
So many times we see the best scores in the three-point contest come in round one. I think the players start to get tired legs as they approach the 50-shot mark in the competition.
And more than the legs, I think it's also that the adrenaline of the opening stages has worn off. So mentally, you could be running confused.
6 points more to tie it up.
And now he's getting it done.
10 straight. How long can it last?
3 more points will tie it.
Hits for 15. And now we're 16. One more to tie. Moneyball, no good. Oh, that's good. He takes the lead.
Way to step up big in this final round.
And also shooting it well.
He racks up 20 points in the round. He was really enjoying himself out there that time.
Yeah, he had a good time out there. He hit a few in a row, and then he was off and running. I mean, he ended up burying 11 straight.
And so it'll be Stephen Curry. He was the hottest shooter entering the final, so he earned the right to go last. And he knows exactly what the target is. A score of 21 or higher will secure the trophy.
That's a good rap for him.
Now is 6.
And he's off to a decent start. Warming that net up.
Great mechanics hit. 8 more points, and he'll tie things up.
He comes away with 4 points on that rap. 8 more points for him to tie it up. That's 4 misses in a row. That's 13. He's made all but one of his money balls. 4 points more to win.
Rock solid shooting down the stretch.
He's at 19. He gets all the way up to 21 points. He was really enjoying himself out there that time.
And you really have to say, no surprise to see a shooter of his caliber have that kind of success.
And that wraps up this year's thrilling three-point contest. It was an absolute clinic in three-point shooting from this year's champion, Steph Curry.
What a commando performance by our champion. Once he got rolling, the only question was, who's getting second?
Yeah, I mean, he deserves all the credit in the world for that one. I mean, to come out on top against a field like this, sensational.
And from all of us here at 2K Sports, we're thrilled to have brought you this year's three-point contest. This is Kevin Harlan, along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, saying so long, everyone.
The 2K Sports pregame show. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the NBA Dunk Contest. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. The pure athleticism that this group has is stunning, and we're going to see that firsthand tonight. When these players are at the peak of their powers, it's amazing what they can do. I'm sure we'll see more than a few dunks that cause this building to erupt. And one of the biggest events of All-Star Weekend, Shaq, traditionally, why do you think it's been so hard for a big man to win the slam dunk contest?
Because everybody's jealous of the big man. Look at us, Ernie. We're beautiful, and we know it. But I made it look more spectacular when a smaller man is flying through the air.
You buy that, Jet?
Well, wing players have won it in 90 and 93 when I competed. You know what I'm saying? But the guy who...
Nothing like it, folks. The All-Star festivities in the air. Kevin Harlan here with partners Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Tonight, the dunk contest. And from the looks of this great competition, it is shaping up just as we had hoped. It's going to have some high-flying action and some big-time jams.
And you know, this has become one of the jewels of the NBA season. The fans love to watch it. The players love to take part in it. It's just a terrific night all the way around.
And when you talk to the players, it's easy to get a sense of how much they've been looking forward to this event. They are fired up.
He can really make his mark here early as he leads off the competition. Let's see if he takes the opportunity and runs with it.
Oh, he tried it. He posed. He did a little pose.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. He made the pose. Definitely a pose right there. Just throw down. Not the elite level that we're accustomed to, folks.
Second up, going to make some noise with his first dunk of the night. Oh, here he comes.
Oh, that was nice. He did it straight away. He went 360 after he took it off his hand. That was a nice pirouette. And timing.
He made that look easy.
Yeah.
Oh, this was sweet. Real sweet. I've not seen that one, Kevin.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like dribbling up there, having to worry about the ball. Always got to worry about putting out his move. You just grab the ball clean.
Yeah, but that's still difficult.
I know. Boy, that was really nice. Good imagination on that.
Very good imagination and creativity.
And third on stage, making his first appearance. Let's see what he's got for us. All right, Clark.
Here we go. Oh, man.
That was a score.
You know you got that when he had the scissor kick. He took it down between the legs.
That is tough.
That's a double cut. That's a real nice thing.
It's one thing.
It's not two scoops on the spoon, but it is one. Don't count for one.
And so here's now the gem. No one yet really has grabbed this prize.
Well, there's a terrific opportunity, a golden one, as a matter of fact. He can come in and grab the momentum. It could serve him well.
And I really do believe, guys, that the crowd can influence the judges, because if they are that demonstrative, I think that does add to the dilemma of grading these dunks.
He just fell short. This came up short.
Yeah.
Just did not
What happened?
Well, he just didn't get it done. I mean, that's...
I can see that.
Yeah,
Clark.
simply.
I need more analysis.
Well, I can't... I mean, heck, he missed it. That's all I can say.
Have you ever been in a dunk contest before?
Years ago.
Really? High school?
High school, yeah.
Yeah. One.
I did a two-ball dunk.
Did you?
Yeah. Two-ball.
Got a decent lead going for him as round one is in the books.
Yeah, and he can push that lead even further, but he's going to have to step it up a notch.
Yeah, but you got
Back to first. Let's see his second dunk of the night. Well, it's great to see him getting like that. That's a clean dunk. That's impressive enough. He's going to score well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he'll get good numbers.
Yes, he will.
Yeah.
Yes, he will.
Everything you want in that.
Yep,
Elevation,
yep.
degree of difficulty, and as you said, cleanly thrown down.
You said it earlier, Kevin. It's amazing.
All right, Clark, he's up for his second dunk right here.
And Kevin, I think he needs something really strong and good this time around. That first one was not memorable.
No, it wasn't his best, but we all know with his athletic ability, he can go to a whole nother level.
Another one of these efficient, high-powered dunks without much of a launch pad.
He was tired.
Yeah.
I like the post dunk dance though. That's strong. Yeah, he's got a little nice little hop skip. Yeah. That's part of it too. Now you got to include the post dunk celebration.
See, now that's what I would have given everything. And he's the third dunker in the order, getting ready for dunk number 2.
Check this out. Check this out.
Oh, well, we got the same dunks in rotation now.
Yeah, I think a little more creativity clearly is in order here. And there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, let's see something new.
Ramp up the creativity, boys.
So here's now the gentleman. Back around to our 4th contestant, getting set for his 2nd dunk.
There in every way.
It's called the contrarian dunk.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's a good name for it.
Dunk. Got a battle here with 3 guys not giving up any ground. Clark after the first 2 rounds.
Time to reach back for that one dunk you've been saving up to separate you from the pack. Now is the time to unleash it.
Yeah, and we're still waiting to see that one signature move that's going to define this year's contest.
And we're back to our first contestant with his 3rd dunk.
He really cranked that
double clutch. Yeah, took it down off the catch and then got it below his knees. I like that. Good elevation, timing, and then, boy, he threw it down with major thrust too. I didn't hear you saying anything, Kevin. What's your take?
Well, yeah, I had to watch about 2 or 3 times right there, and I guess again,
you're not impressed.
It's okay.
Yes, you're not impressed.
Yeah, it's okay. He did nothing with the legs. I think when you're dipping and dueling, I think sometimes when all that's going on, you're doing this acrobatic thing in the air. But I would say, when he rotates that baby around a couple times, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But, we've seen it. When they're done, our 2nd contestant with his final dunk. All right, here he goes again now.
Oh!
Second from last, his final dunk of the night. Okay. All right.
You didn't do the self-toss, man. You got it. It was pretty good.
He suspended himself pretty good.
Yeah, he hung. Hang time was good. I will give him that. Hang time was nice. Power was adequate. All in all, pretty good, but it didn't get me out of my seat.
Yeah.
We've
got a couple, I know. Not that one. And so here's now the gentleman. He's got the honors of being the final dunker of the night. You know he wants to end with a bang. out that time.
Yep, his imagination was bigger than his hops.
You know what? You gotta be smart. Those misses really hurt.
And now, time to reveal this year's dunk contest champion.
And the dunk contest is always special. But this year it was even crazier than we're used to.
Yeah, and there really was a little something extra in the air this year. These players were in rare form.
And tonight certainly did not disappoint. From the excitement to the energy and, of course, to the jaw-dropping dunks. Now, for Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks, everyone, for joining us here on 2K Sports.
to watch the best players, but to be seen by the other stars in the crowd.
And here are the East All-Stars now after the miss from Stephen Curry. Here's LeBron, and he banks in the layup.
In the first half of his season, boy, how special has it been? He has been on a rampage.
Yeah, and he's got tremendous talent, and when he's fully healthy and engaged, I mean, he's really impossible to stop. That's what we've been seeing this year from him.
Here is Harden following the basket by LeBron James. Here's Curry with the three. Good. It's Harden with the assist on top. Curry's got his first 3 points of the game.
And I have great appreciation for the IQ of Stephen Curry. I mean, once the ball hits his hands, guys, you know he's thinking about letting it go.
Moves back up. Here's Davis. Count that one.
They're doing a lot of spectating there on D. But hey, it's the All-Star game.
On defense, the West All-Stars. It's a 3-point game. Here's the general, guarded by Harden. Antetokounmpo passes to Irving. Hits it from 3-point range.
And Antetokounmpo just, I mean, showing you once again what an all-around superb talent he is. I mean, he really moves that ball on offense.
Now here's Harden. A step-back shot here. Count that bucket. Harden's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Not much in the way of defense being played here early on.
Well, you know how it works. I mean, both teams will be conserving their energy at the defensive end until later on. That's typically how this thing unfolds.
And setting the tone early with a strong move to the rack.
Yeah, I like the aggressiveness and the fearlessness there, Greg. I mean, very committed to getting the shot he wanted.
Now, here is Harden from outside the arc. And there's Stephen Curry on the assist by Leonard. Curry's got 6 points.
And this game literally has been wide open as it gets.
Yeah, both teams completely neglecting their defensive duties.
Here's the general, and fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts, and a chance for one more here.
Well, I think, as is always the case, the story of the game tonight won't have a lot to do with defense.
That's the way it always is. I mean, a half-court alley-oop or a spectacular behind-the-back pass, that's exactly what the people want to see in this game. What shot, gentlemen?
About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. And so here are the West All-Stars. Irving against Curry. Harden dishes to Durant. Here's Davis. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
You know, got to admire the patience inside from Davis. Outstanding at staying under control, taking his time, and burying the quality shot.
Irving, the layup off target. And here's the West with the ball. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, I caught up with Coach Steve Kerr, spoke about the game, and Coach made it clear that he was going to get out of the guys' way, let them enjoy themselves. He told me they know what they're doing. Nobody's interested in me drawing up a ton of complicated plays. I'm just going to roll the ball out there and let them play. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, David. West All-Stars shooting their initial free throws of the game right here. The first one at the line is good.
Davis is really the total package, a mobile, sharp-shooting big guy who can score from everywhere.
So he gets them both.
And it's been a really good day for him at the line. Some other bigs have well-documented problems on their free throws. He's not one of them.
Here's the general. Outside, Antetokounmpo. Passes it to the general. Good D by Harden.
He's still fighting it. And sometimes the harder you try, the worse it gets. He's trying to get in the rhythm, but right now he's playing hard, but he's hurting his team.
It's hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Here's the general. In the corner, Irving with it. Here's the general. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. The general's got his second basket of the night.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Time-dropping delights is what I call it. Yeah, that was a nice play. I would give you that.
Yeah, he's on the money, this no doubt.
And they can't allow him too many open looks like that. That's just inviting trouble.
And Davis sends it back.
I tell you what, Davis uses his length so well. I mean, a defensive stalwart who holds his ground, and because of his timing and length and athleticism, he's an excellent shot blocker.
And it's good, 2 points.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Yeah, shots falling, off to a very good start offensively as a result.
And there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That's foul number 2 for him.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Yeah, but he was late to get there, Greg, so the referee couldn't give him a free pass on that one.
The West All-Stars making a switch here. Booker's checked in. And here are the East All-Stars now. They trail by 7. James, a screen on Booker. The general passes to LeBron. And finished off by LeBron.
LeBron James throwing it down is a thing of beauty. An incredible athlete who makes dunking look as easy as it can look.
Now here's Leonard. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Irving passes to the general. The kick out to Irving. Connects from three-point range. Irving's got 6.
I love the three-point shooting of Irving. Excellent at dialing it in from deep, and you've got to respect his range.
Now here's Davis. He's got 8. On its way from Curry for 2. Nice teamwork to set up the pick play and make the space for the J.
You know, this quarter has been all him, all about him. They're getting it to him in his spots, and he's taking over.
Here's the general, defended by Booker. Irving misses.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
They sure are. I mean, they've done a terrific job carving out space under the basket and then pursuing the ball. You know, it's one thing to box out, but you've got to pursue the ball if you're going to get rebounds. And they look strong here in the early going.
And here are the East All-Stars now. Kawhi Leonard missing from long range. The feed to Drummond. Over Durant. And Durant sends it back.
And Durant isn't just a powerhouse on offense. He also has a great sense of timing for when to block shots. And that's the shot you want to create. They just can't get it to fall.
That's what I call an everything but. Good execution, just didn't knock it down. But you're right. They're happy with that shot.
Now here's Davis after LeBron James's miss. Dishes it to Booker. And there's the pass to Curry. This one for 3. It's good. The basket is now 5 for 9.
And Kevin, that 3 ball of Curry dead. I mean, you feel like it's going in as soon as he lets it go, no matter where, what angle, or how deep.
Basket good. He's got 7.
Just good, aggressive drive from him that time. Found the hole in the D and went straight to the rim.
There's a good screen. Outside Durant, launches it. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
And 2 teammates there hooking up on that bucket. Always a little bit of an advantage to have guys out there who know each other.
It sure is. I mean, it eliminates some of that getting to know you feeling out period and not giving that much room for mid-range. They got to feel lucky he didn't knock that one down.
Curry on the wing. Back to Davis. Booker in the corner. Pulls up on the wing. East grabs the miss.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Pretty clear. They're dominating that area. They've come out with a lot more energy and effort so far.
The kick out to Antetokounmpo. Here's the general, and Durant sends it back. And here we go with Curry running it up the court. The lead pushed to double digits.
Defensively, they right on the fouls in terms of what's been called tonight. And that's usually the theme in this game.
I agree. I mean, the guys always play reasonably hard, but they don't necessarily play physically, if that makes any sense. The officials' jobs are usually pretty easy in this one.
On the court for the West All-Stars, they've got Paul George. Jokic is out there with Griffin. Then it's Harden, and it's Westbrook in at the point guard position.
And not as many turnovers as we often get in this game. So good to see both teams taking care of the ball.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, surprisingly, very well controlled for the most part. Sometimes things get a little wild out there, but not so here.
It was beautiful the first time, but Under Armour showing us the replay of that tremendous alley-oop again. Another unleash chaos moment. Doesn't go that time. Now the West All-Stars the other way. Outside Griffin. Kick start. Plenty of space. Shot's good. Griffin making the play. And it's 6 points for James Harden.
And Harden takes a lot of pride in being a hard matchup, a tough cover. He takes no time in shooting once he gets the pump.
Wall, no luck. They've shared the load offensively.
And guys, they put the defense on their heels. You can see right now they're trying to react. And that's what you want when you're in a rhythm offensively.
And here are the East All-Stars now. Paul George missing from long range. And there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That's his third foul of the game.
And that's the tough part of trying to keep him on the floor. Now he picks up that third foul.
Here's what the East is going with right now. Andre Drummond's checked in for Vucevic. Gordon comes in for Gordon Hayward. And Thomas subbed in for John Wall. Kevin Durant's checked in for the West. Shot clock at 5. Stolen by George. And here we go. Harden into the hoop. Finished off the break. Harden's got 4 this quarter. All right, well, look at how the hustle game has been going for the West All-Stars.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers.
You know, another thing they've done well, guys, this first half is challenge shooters and change shots. A bunch of block shots early.
Giannis Antetokounmpo's checked in for Simmons. The West All-Stars also with the sub. Leonard's checked in. Westbrook with it. Pass to Jokic. They set the pick. It's Durant on the wing. Off the screen. That's in. Coming off the assist from Jokic. Durant's got his second basket of the night.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
Now, here's Thomas. He hasn't scored yet, but I'm sure will change.
And they are absolutely stroking it from beyond the arc.
Now, here's Westbrook. Outside Durant. Lets it go from deep. Here's Jokic. East grabs the miss. Drummond's got 4 rebounds in this game. Antetokounmpo passes to the general. He dishes it to Thomas. Offensive rebound. Here's the general. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And these are his second and third free throws tonight. 2 shots.
Two shots.
And the first one does. We've seen a few active players have their own podcast that they produce throughout the season. I think that's a good idea or a bad idea for them.
Again, I'm ambivalent to that. because the landscape is so different now with the social media platforms. And I like the fact that players have a chance to control their narrative, their story, through the different social media platforms, the Players Tribune, podcasts. Now, you have to balance that with your responsibilities and obligations to your team, your teammates, and your franchise. And so that's where it becomes a challenge, managing your time effectively and using it wisely. But clearly, players should have the opportunity to be fully engaged people beyond just playing the game.
Each trip down becoming more important.
And you need to string some successful offensive possessions together and play tough D.
Harden gets the bucket.
And now he's taken a solid opening in the quarter and built on it here in the second.
Timeout called, East All-Stars. Now the East All-Stars with it. 11-point game. Here's the general, guarded by Harden. They set the pick. Here's Thomas. Will not go. This is off the front iron.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, as they're looking to battle back, that's one of the key elements. You got to rebound.
Here's the general. Kevin Durant picking up that last basket. To the wing on the left. Here's the general. That's good. It's Thomas picking up the assist. And that's 13 points for the general.
Always enjoy solid, good passing. Easily setting up his teammate. Does not get any easier than that.
Here's Westbrook. That one's not going to go. Great D that time from Thomas. Over to the left wing. Passes it to the general. Back to Thomas. Westbrook with the block. Pushing it up. Here's Leonard. Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Well executed, and then you love the strong finish.
Fantastic speed on the break. Speed kill, showing no mercy in transition there, partner.
LeBron, he's checked in for the East. Irving comes in for Isaiah Thomas. Here's the general. He's got 13. Over Westbrook, and he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for two.
I don't know if there's a player in the league that has better handles than Kyrie Irving. As a matter of fact, his handles are as good as any I've seen in the history of the game. Smooth, crafty, cunning. Man, it is so much a joy to watch this guy do his thing.
Both free throws good for Irving.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
Yeah, I like everything you said there, because when all else fails, if you can get to the stripe, that's really a good way to change the momentum in the game, because you get points and you also slow down the opponent because the game isn't going up and down as much.
Now, Antetokounmpo. Kawhi Leonard missing from long range. And Davis sends it back. Durant against LeBron. Durant, no good. Left side, Irving. Anthony Davis with the rebound. Davis has got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. Durant kicks to Westbrook. The dish now to Harden. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist. Westbrook's got 4 assists in the game.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
Here's the general. 13 points in the game. To the paint. It's tipped, and it's out of bounds, and they say it was last touched by Durant.
And you love the effort, just getting the hand in there and knocking it out.
Really came close to the pilfer, but they'll take that effort. Mucking things up is sometimes just as good as a steal.
Balls checked in for Russell Westbrook, and the East All-Stars call time here.
You can sense he wasn't happy with how things are going here. Probably looking to change it up a bit.
Nothing wrong with that. You got to be flexible. When something isn't working, you adjust, you modify, you go to something else. That's what the best coaches do.
To the middle, and it's Davis finishing it off. Great game for him. Double-double down. 10 points and 10 rebounds.
Boy, Ball has a nice feel for when his guys are open. He's solid, really solid when it comes to getting his teammates clean looks.
Outside Irving. And Durant sends it back. And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
Man, Durant is a flat-out baller, showing off his wily strength on these tough finishes. He's a thin guy, but he's a strong guy.
The West All-Stars making a switch here. Curry's checked in. Now the pass to the general to stop the run. And that one comes up a bit short.
Got to give the defense credit. That was a great contest on a high percentage shot in the paint.
Davis sets a screen. Back to Durant. Feeds it to Davis. Over Drummond. And Davis gets it to go on the assist by Durant. That's 12 points for Anthony Davis.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Pass to Irving. Here's the general. James kicks to Irving for the three. It's rebounded by the West. Durant's got 5 rebounds tonight.
He's cooled down a little bit after draining those 2 3-pointers in the first quarter.
He is in the zone. There's a reason he keeps getting the ball. They're feeding him because they trust him to lead their team.
Here's the general. 13 points in the game. He feeds it to LeBron. To the middle. No good from the general.
Yeah, really frustrating right now. They just can't seem to stem the tide here.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those days. Sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug. Sometimes it's just not working for you.
Timeout called, East All-Stars.
And not surprising, obviously unhappy with the lack of response from his team.
Can't blame him. I mean,
So it's the West All-Stars holding a very comfortable 25-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. Their defensive mindset clearly focused on clamping down on LeBron James, and their game plan is working. We'll get right back to the action when we return. We return to the NBA All-Star Game. One half is in the books, and the second half about to begin.
Yeah, and I'm looking for the temperature to start to rise here a little bit in this second half.
Yeah, I'm exactly with you there. I think we'll see a little less showmanship and a little more intensity from here on out.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. And so in the game for the East All-Stars, Kyrie Irving is out there with the general, and it's LeBron James. Then there's Andre Drummond, and it's Antetokounmpo in at the 3 spot. Curry outside. Antetokounmpo pulls it in.
Well executed, great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Agree with you there, partner, because that screen really freed him up nicely, and that's a shot that if you're a pro, you need to make that one.
East All-Stars have put up good numbers at the charity stripe, converting 6 of 7. That free throw good from the general. Good on both. Now Curry. Leonard on the wing. Outside Curry. Davis setting the pick for Curry. Clock at 4. And that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending call right there.
That's a very close call. I'm sure he thinks it's a clean block, but looks like it was on the way down.
Second half rolling along now. About a minute played here. Here's the feed to LeBron. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And James, a natural leader, someone his teammates look up to, and he just has that commanding presence.
First trip to the line for him here. First free throw is good. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far. Deflects the pass and stolen by Drummond. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Harden.
And always a bit of risk on those long passes. Lucky the D couldn't come up with it there.
Here's the general. Battles through traffic and lays it in. The general's got 4 this quarter.
Couldn't run the inbound play any better than right there.
Leonard kicks to Harden. Dishes it to Davis. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Harden's got 4 assists now tonight.
You've got to respect and you can't sleep on the passing ability of Harden. Love how he zips it over to open teammates.
Kicks it to Irving from 11 feet away. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him.
Boy, I tell you, I don't know if there's anybody better than Kyrie Irving close to the basket. He has a great feel for how to score inside. Excellent feed from Steph Curry.
2 minutes gone in this third quarter now. James outside. Here's the general. He's got 17. Back to James. Irving for 3. Bangs home the trifecta. Irving's got 13.
They're doing work in the second half. 3 or 4 to start.
Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. Davis with a screen on Irving. Curry's shot is off. Antetokounmpo with the ball. Leonard picks him up. Here's the general. He kicks to LeBron. Chalk up 2 there. He's got 10.
Man, you got to respect and appreciate how polished LeBron is inside. I mean, he really excels at creating opportunities for himself close to the rim.
Here's Curry with the 3. Rebound by the East All-Stars.
Just testing out the cannon on that misfire.
That certainly was a deep one. I mean, maybe move in a little bit next time. There's no such thing as a 4-point line.
Over in the corner, Antetokounmpo. 5 on the clock. Shoots from 14. Durant with the steal. Leonard against Antetokounmpo. From deep, Harden. Rebound, Andre Drummond. Drummond's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Pass to the general. LeBron sets the screen for Irving. The kick out to Antetokounmpo. Shot clock at 6. Down low. It's stolen by Davis. Now, here is Harden. T right on him. And Leonard has it in the corner. Harden outside. Lets the 3 fly. Again, the miss by Harden. And here is James. He's got 10. The general passes to James. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the official.
Free throw good, LeBron.
This is as good as it gets from the charity stripe here in the second.
Yeah, you know what? And I think they've just got to keep on keeping on. Keep drawing contact, attacking, getting to the line. That will certainly give them a chance to get back into the game.
Catching up on the changes for the East. Vucevic checked in for Drummond. Hayward comes in for Antetokounmpo, and John Wall subbed in for Irving. No one near Westbrook as he lets it go. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Griffin.
What a find by Griffin. He's a lot more skilled as a passer than he gets credit for as far as power forwards go. He has terrific vision.
Nobody near George. That one doesn't go. So the East All-Stars will take it the other way. Here's the general, guarded by Harden. James wide open. Drills the three-pointer. LeBron's got 8 here in the quarter.
Man, it's so good to see LeBron James rise up with confidence from deep. That's a part of his game that he continues to improve on, and it's actually become quite efficient.
And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's going to be on John Wall. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for the West All-Stars.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well.
Simmons checked in for LeBron. No good on the second free throw.
And Russell Westbrook is as explosive a guard as we've seen in the history of the game. An incredibly gifted scorer who can also punch it on you.
Outside, Wall. Here's Vucevic, and it's good off the back of the rim and in. Vucevic has got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
And Harden wide open. He shoots. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got his 5th assist in this one. Pass to Vucevic. Here's the general, defended by Towns. Here's the general. He's got 17. The kick out to Wall. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The East All-Stars need to get another shot. Vucevic, the pass to the general. Back to Vucevic. And a rejection by Towns.
Great timing on the block there. Towns helps affect winning in a lot of different ways.
And that one's good, George.
They've given up a lot of three-pointers here today.
And their defensive rotations have been non-existent.
Here's the general. And they come right back with their own three-pointer. The general's got 7 points here in this quarter. Westbrook kicks to Griffin. On the wing, George. He's got 6. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And Blake Griffin is just an incredible athlete, explosive and great balance and mobility, powerful. A big guy who can flat out throw it down, and he also can pass it too.
It's his first trip to the line.
2 shots.
That one is off. And some changes here for the East. Aaron Gordon comes in for Vucevic, and Bradley Beal subbed in for the General. Devin Booker, he's checked in for the West. Group substitution here for the East. Drummond's checked in for Aaron Gordon. Antetokounmpo comes in for Ben Simmons. The General, he's checked in for Gordon Hayward. And Isaiah Thomas subbed in for John Wall. So an almost entirely new group now for the West. Anthony Davis, he's checked in for Towns. Kevin Durant comes in for Blake Griffin. Kawhi Leonard is checked in for George. And Steph Curry is subbed in for Russell Westbrook. Outside for Beal. He shoots again. A putback. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Boy, I like the activity of Drummond on the glass. I mean, he's so big and active. Excellent timing and hands, always pounding and grinding for offensive rebounds.
Davis sets a screen. Leonard with no one around. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in.
And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish.
Yeah, no let up. The killer instinct on display, trying to put this team away. I love the tenacity.
The General passes to Thomas. Here's the General. Outside for Thomas. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Thomas gone just 1 of 5 from the field. The dish to Curry. Davis with a screen on Thomas. Outside Curry. Shoots from 12. And he knocks down the jumper. Curry's got 19 points.
You can ill afford to put a smaller defender on him. I mean, especially from the mid-range. You're asking for trouble.
And so it's the West All-Stars closing out the quarter with a 20-point lead. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. Right back after this break. Back to our coverage of the NBA All-Star Game. A great night of basketball here on 2K Sports.
And we're seeing some world-class basketball being played here tonight.
That's exactly what you'd expect coming from the absolute greatest players on the planet.
On the court for the West All-Stars, getting the fourth quarter going. Durant is out there with Anthony Davis. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. Then there's Stephen Curry. And it's Booker in at the 2.
And you can see the play calling this half. Another one from distance.
Well, they're dialed in, locked and loaded from outside the arc. It's all about the triple so far.
And showing a good nose for the ball there. Picks it clean, and he's off to the races.
Well, excellent defensive instincts. I mean, knows exactly when to strike on this end.
The kick out to Irving. Here's James. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. 16 points for LeBron.
And Irving is comfortable running the offense. When a teammate's open, he's quick to whip it around and get him a good look.
Outside Leonard. Here's Booker. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And Clark, we saw this a bit last season. When a team is up and it's garbage time, are there unwritten rules as far as shooting or scoring go?
Yeah, I think you always want to play within the spirit of the game, the spirit of the rules, the respect of the game, and the respect of your opponent. So, to me, that should be, you try to always do what's right and just and fair at all times. And late game situations create an environment where you want to always take the high road and play the game with a honoring attitude towards your opponents in the game. And
stolen by Irving. For the basket, his 5th of the game. He's missed 6 shots against those 5 baits.
Yeah, such a crafty move. That's an all-star game special right there, folks.
That certainly isn't any regular season move. I agree with that. I mean, you save that kind of move for the big stage of the All-Star week.
And as he squares up for mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Yeah, I like the fact, Greg, that he crowded the shooters there, made him uncomfortable, got into his airspace a bit. Looked like he forced the shot.
Here's Davis. Great D that time from the general. Back to Irving. The pass to the general. Over to the wing. Tries again, and Davis sends it back. Irving against Curry. He dishes it to Durant. Outside Leonard. Here's Davis. That doesn't go either for Davis. And recently, the NBA changed it so announcers for teams no longer get a vote in league awards. Not an easy decision for the league to make, Clark.
No, it wasn't an easy one, but I can understand that. There's always the potential for bias when you're associated with a particular team. But there's also some expertise that you no longer have now because of that rule. So it's a delicate balancing act, and I don't mind at least giving it a shot for the league to do it this way.
Vucevic, he's checked in for the East. The West All-Stars also with the sub. James Harden, he's checked in for Booker. Durant hits them both.
And that second overall pick back in the 07 draft, were there a do-over, Durant would unquestionably be the #1 pick.
Irving passes to the general. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It's going to be on James Harden. Two shots.
Two shots. Last in the first.
First one calls for. And the East All-Stars making a change here. Drummond's checked in.
And, you know, the fan voting is what determines the starters in the All-Star game. Then the coaches will decide on the reserves. But either way, whether you're picked by the fans or the coaches, earning the title NBA All-Star, and that's an honor none of these players will ever forget.
Well, Greg, one thing we know for sure, you know that every player who earned a spot on this roster is going to see his share of action. Spreading the minutes evenly, as you've always talked about, is always a top priority for these All-Star game coaches.
And you're so right, Kevin. I mean, for all the hard work these players put in to get here, I mean, each one deserves a chance, if you will, to share the spotlight. It's one of the great things about the All-Star game.
Count that one.
He doesn't do some of the damage that other big men do on the perimeter, but inside, Drummond's got just as much game as anybody.
Harden dishes to Curry. Oh, good on the triple.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
James. Durant with some nice D.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
And Clark, we know that players are evaluated in a historical perspective, largely by how many rings they have. Do you think that's a fair way to evaluate things?
I don't think you can solely evaluate an individual player in a team sport by the number of rings he's been able to win. Clearly, it can be part of the criteria, especially if you're talking about great players who've had similar careers. It can be a differentiator. But to me, it doesn't necessarily carry the weight that some people like to give it in evaluating players. Individual performance over time is what, to me, marks the hallmark of a player worthy of Hall of Fame consideration or being talked about being one of the greats in the game.
It's Curry. That time on the assist by Harden. Harden's got his 6th assist on the night.
Boy, Curry is so creative and efficient. And when he gets hot and gets going, he rains down points and baskets on the defense.
Here's the general, guarded by Harden. Down low, 6 to shoot, and finished off by LeBron.
And Irving really showing great strides in improving his passing, wanting to be a more effective floor general.
Harden with it. Feeds to Durant. Davis setting the pick for Durant. And it's the East with the rebound. On to Tacumbo's got his 4th rebound in this one. James misses. Oh, something you never like to see, but guys, he definitely looks hurt.
And boy, when you see someone hurting like this, it's always scary.
You're exactly right, Greg. I mean, with the way it looks, what we have to hope for now is that somehow it's not a long-term issue.
Jokic has checked in for Kevin Durant. Now, here is Harden. To the inside. It's deflected and stolen by LeBron. Irving passes to the general. Down low. And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
Absolutely awesome to watch Antetokounmpo rise up for these throwdowns. I mean, it's really quite easy for him.
Curry kicks to Davis, and it's sent back by Drummond. The general passes to LeBron, and finished off by LeBron.
And he's having one of those nights. LeBron putting on a show.
Here's Curry. Davis with a screen on Irving. Here's Curry. That one wide left. Here are the East All-Stars. They're on a 14-6 run. Here's the general. The kick out to Irving. It's stolen by Curry. There's the 3. Drains it from beyond the arc. Curry's got 27.
Once again, he's able to knock down the long-range jumper. He's on automatic. Just a brilliant game.
And there's a whistle that's going to go on James Harden. That will be foul number 5 on him.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, he kind of slid underneath as he got to the spot, too.
Russell Westbrook in for the West. The general passes to LeBron. Irving with the steal. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. Leonard against Antetokounmpo. Leonard dishes to Davis. Harden's got room, and that one falls, coming off of Davis's speed. And that's 19 points for James Harden.
And Harden's a prolific scorer. We know that. He gets it done from everywhere, anywhere, thanks mainly to that outstanding confidence.
Pass to the general. And referee play review is something that is still relatively new in the NBA. Clark, I think it should be expanded.
I think we should continue to modify and refine it and be careful to not look to overdo it. But we also want to make sure we're using it productively and prudently. So modify it, refine it, evaluate it each year, and try to make really good use of it in the areas where it can be most effective in enhancing the calls that are made in the game.
Free throw out from the General. And the West All-Stars have possession. Harden with it. Now guarded by the General. Irving with the steal. Here's the General. Pass to Drummond. The 11-footer. And Davis sends it back. Tries again. Indeed, Drummond drops it in. And that's a double-double for him now. 10 points and 12 rebounds. Now Westbrook. Harden sets the pick for Westbrook. Leonard on the wing. Jokic a screen. A fadeaway. Leonard no luck.
Not surprising he missed that one, though, Kevin. I mean, the defense was very aggressive on him there.
Here's the General, guarded by Harden. Drummond a screen. Here's the General, just 5 to shoot. Drummond, and the layup is good after a nice lead pass.
This is a fantastic performance in this half. He didn't play as well in the first, but you just know with this guy, he's always ready to turn it around.
Westbrook kicks to Leonard. From the line, and good that time.
He is pouring it on in the second half, guys. I mean, a much better showing than he had before the break.
Timeout called, East All-Stars.
That was a good time to call a timeout to try to settle everybody down and get back into their offensive rhythm. They've been coughing up the rock an awful lot.
Chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Anthony Davis.
And, guys, it's been a rugged brand of defense he's played. I don't know why they keep taking the ball at him. It seems like every time they have, he's come up with the rejection. And with every block, he's only gotten more and more fired up.
And the tradition in honor of just being invited to play here, let alone receiving honors of All-Star Game MVP. Just tremendous. In fact, one could argue we had a couple great candidates here, but he deserved it. Towns, he's checked in for the West. They've been a little too casual with the ball out there.
Yeah, but you can't force that square peg into the round hole. Oftentimes, you just got to make that first simple pass and get a rhythm from that.
Okay, time now for an injury report. Let's get an update on Durant. What's the status, David?
Hi, guys. The head athletic trainer for the West All-Stars gave us some information. It's not what anyone wanted to hear, as it sounds like it's a severe injury. That is a bitter pill for them to swallow so early in the season. It clearly changes the look of this team going forward, Kevin.
David, thanks for the great update, guys. It doesn't sound good.
No, if that report is accurate, he's going to be spending a lot of time in rehab and on the sidelines.
And in the training room, guys. I mean, that is not going to be an easy injury to bounce back from.
And it's good, 2 points. 21 points for James Harden.
Incredible control on that floater. Harden is fantastic at putting just the right amount of touch on these very difficult and delicate shots.
Blanketed by the D, flights to the rim for the layup. The Generals got 13 points in the second half. And the West All-Stars with possession. The lead is 15. Leonard the pass to Harden. Davis sets a screen. Harden kicks to Leonard. Over onto Kumbo, and the rejection by Antetokounmpo. Over Leonard. Antetokounmpo can't get it to go.
Tell you what, Kevin, they will take that look every time. Limited defense, great shot. Just came up empty. You live with those.
Davis kicks to Towns. Towns with the steal from downtown. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Harden. The West All-Stars making a switch here. Griffin's checked in. .1:15 left in the fourth. Clark, we have seen an influx of players who function as point forwards for their team. How difficult is that to deal with as a defender?
I think it's really hard. I think it just speaks to the versatility of a player. If a guy has forward size but point guard skills, then I think that makes him more valuable to his team and more difficult to defend because he can start offense, not just for himself, but for his team. And that puts your defense in a little bit of a quandary as to how you're going to deal with that kind of versatility in terms of scoring and playmaking.
Here's what the East is going with right now. Vucevic, he's checked in for Andre Drummond. Ben Simmons comes in for LeBron. Gordon Hayward's checked in for Antetokounmpo, and Thomas subbed in for Irving. He gets that one.
And, you know, as good as Towns is from outside, the net play is why he shoots for a high percentage.
Here's the general, defended by Booker. Hayward kicks to Thomas. Here's the general. Good D by Booker.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Towns kicks to Booker. Clock at 6. Lob pass to George.
And that's a killer instinct on display as they try to put this one on ice.
And, you know, this is what's needed at this point in the game, Greg. The great team know how to close it out.
So no problem for the West All-Stars as they get the win.
And it's impossible to know what's going to happen in these games. The talent on both sides is always so strong. But tonight, the West seemed a little more... comfortable playing together as a unit, and that's what earned them the win.
You mentioned that all broadcast long, and sure enough, it came to fruition. That brings us to the conclusion of our all-star coverage. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. For Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan wishing you all a very good night.